At least one of our Brazilian turn up today lah. Chelsea won, Manchester United won. Let's go. Salam sejahtera, happy Deepavali to all our Indian viewers. All right, Indian, is it the correct term to use? Anyway, we are a Malaysian Manchester United fan channel. Yes, dengan bangganya Buatan Malaysia, guys. I was expecting a win lah, so I'm a bit like low morale and whatnot lah. So like usual, if you're new to our channel, please like, share, subscribe, and yeah. Pijak Telegram.
Jap. Yang baru tengok channel YouTube kita, sabar. Jangan balik dulu. Sabar, jangan tukar channel lain. Jangan scroll tempat lain. Sebab kat bawah link tu, kita ada Telegram. Semua boleh join. Dijemput datang. Yang penting, masuk dalam, kita kena respect each other. Kita cakap pasal bola, kurangkan kontroversi. Tingkatkanlah McTominay.
Tanjiro, berseri-seri muka katu. I know lah, you are top of the league now lah, right? Yeah, I know that you guys are at the top of the league now lah, right? So the game just now, in my humble opinion, I think we should have gotten the 3 points. It was ours for the taking lah, right? So Doc, just a quick summary. What's your take on the game just now for the first half lah?
I thought we played well in the first 30-35 minutes. I thought we were dominating the game. Dominating possession away from home, creating some chances. I think we had we tested Kepa a couple of times, but the moment I think the change the moment that changed the game was when Potter made the substitution. He took out Cucurella and brought in Kovacic. Right? I think that time really changed the game, and we struggled to actually get a foothold in the game. The rest of the first half and even in the second half, I think we didn't create anything at all. Anything of note until we went behind, and what a poor penalty to give away lah.
Pija, I think you also state the same thing that Doc mentioned right just now in our chat just now, that once this formation changed, it seems like we couldn't actually do anything about it lah. So apa pendapat you?
Yalah, itu yang macam dia cakap lah, frustrating lah. Maksudnya first half tu memang kita in control, kita banyak attack on the wing tau. Then suddenly bila dia dah change to back 4, suddenly kita banyak macam main kat belah dalam. Belah dalam tu kan dia macam a bit crowded. Kan? So dia macam tiba terus jadi macam tak ada idea nak main. Tu macam like memang once siapa tu Graham Potter tu dah tukar je formation tu, kita terus jadi macam winger dah tak pandai main, Anthony pun dah ke mana-mana, Sancho pun Sancho being Sancho lah kan. So dah jadi dah tak berapa nak perform sangat. So tu yang macam like frust. It's a frust lah.
But I think one of the positiveness we can actually take from this game is our defense. Our defense, even though Varane actually went out injured again, our French players, I think they have this issue with injury. I think our defense was rather solid, right, Doc?
Yeah, I thought the defense were good. I think even when we were dominating possession in the first half, right, our wingers were quite ineffective. Anthony didn't have the best of games throughout, although he had one chance which he didn't take and his right foot was poor, right? Sancho was totally off. Rashford was totally off. The front three was not gelling. I thought the midfield was okay in the first half. At least they were cycling the ball around, trying to get the wingers involved, but it just wasn't clicking in the final third lah. But like you said, Dom, I agree with you. The defense looked good throughout, and again, just unlucky to give over was a really silly penalty lah.
Brian mentioned West Mark. Member dah tidur lah weh, You gotta stop having a Mark agenda. I don't know why you are attacking me.
Dan tadi yang komen ke last week tu.
Okay, Danny mentioned why do you all think United can't make a string of consistent good performances? I think it's because we are missing certain key players, right? I'm not being biased and whatnot, but really, if that particular player, I'm not going to mention, I think you guys probably know, if he played, right, it would have been different because I believe that our front three today was super blunt.
No. Yeah. that one
Rizal,
particular player.
He's talking about yang mana?
Yang
Season
balik
7
awal.
No, not the guy playing with the under 21s now. Not the one training. Not the one. I'm talking about the other French guy. The other
Ada
French.
French lah. Tapi French voodoo lah. Asyik injured lah.
That's the problem. But then
I
Voodoo
think
tu injured ke or
Pogba's
something?
brother silap lah. Instead of putting for Pogba, he put for all French players lah.
Kan. Dia ada agenda dengan Pogba lah.
Dom,
Ah,
please don't bring up CR7. I'm talking about Anthony Martial. Okay, but I don't want to get the viewers or anybody pissed off. I'm sure that most of us right now we're already super pissed off. It's just that I think right now, right, our whole squad, right, we are very thin. Even defense wise, right, just now when Varane actually got injured, I think semua orang, I think even Pija, I think we were actually worried also whether Lindelof will, maybe slip up a bit and whatnot, right? So maybe I don't know, Pija, what's your take? How are we going to survive this season? Assuming that right now they're saying that January we might not be buying any place. How are we going to survive this season lah, Pija?
itulah kata, I think just take one game at a time lah. Cuma macam cakap lah, once Varane have that injured dan bila dia nampak dia menangis tu, kita dapat tahu lah it's gonna be a long injury for him lah. Actually boleh nampak yang macam like we expect maybe he gonna miss the World Cup lah. So yalah, hopefully lah hopefully Lindelof can pick up that form balik lah. Maksudnya jangan make that slip up yang menyebabkan kita punya current captain Maguire masuk balik dalam team. So hopefully kita dapat prevent benda tu je lah.
Okay, Sunny mentioned time's up for Sancho. Drop him for 3 games. Okay, this one I gotta agree because I think for the first 35 minutes when we were actually playing well, right, our weakest link is Jadon Sancho. I know in one of the videos I mentioned that he's going to be the one that he's going to perform this season and whatnot, right? But it's very disappointing lah. I mean, the way that he plays right now, right, Doc? So maybe what's your take on that?
Yeah, my question is drop him and put in who? No, at the moment
Garnacho.
yeah, that is a possibility. But the issue with Garnacho is they should have brought him on in these games where at least give him a run in instead of starting it from the start, right? Games like this one, the Newcastle one, in the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes, throw him on instead of throwing on Ilanga. I mean, we know what Ilanga can bring, the speed, and that's about it lah. Nothing much, right? Instead of throwing Garnacho from the beginning, he should have been thrown in for these games. I don't know why we're keeping him on the bench and not using him. I know I said last season we shouldn't be throwing in the youngsters, but that's because the whole team was performing terribly, right? Losing games, that would have been bad for their, coming into the team. But now, at this point, when we're winning games, doing well, tight games, right? I don't see why ETH doesn't want to throw him in like with 10, 15 minutes left. Give you something different, give you a different option.
Side, I think you actually missed that. Okay, never mind. I'm going to point the question aside also lah. All right, we're talking about our squad being very thin. Okay, especially up front. All right, so maybe with certain personnels or whatnot around. I'm talking about Martial. I'm not talking about the other guy.
Well, he went back to this topic.
You reckon that this game would have been different? The squad depth. I mean, in the coming games and whatnot, we are so thin up front, and then apparently it looks like the manager has no trust, like Doc mentioned, with the younger players and whatnot. They are not given the opportunity, like Iqbal, Garnacho and whatnot. What's your take on that side?
I think even we talk about Elanga or Garnacho, I think they are not number 9. Even when you want to play Garnacho would do the same thing what Elanga was doing. I know the quality wise, Garnacho is better than Elanga, and even maybe Pelistri is better than Elanga, but they are all wingers. We don't have a typical number 9. We have number 9, I think, which is McNeil, but McNeil is far away from coming or even getting trained in Carrington. So I think we need a striker. Regardless, we have Ronaldo. Even I said before also, if Ronaldo is 100% fit, we still need a striker. We still need a striker because Martial not available all the time. Ronaldo, we all know what's going on. So regardless of these two, we still need a striker. And I think Gakpo, which we are talking about, I think he's also not a striker, but he's playing on the center with PSV, and he has scored, I think, 18 goals or 16 goals so far. So I think we need a goal scorer.
Martin. I
think what McTominay did today was he was thinking he's playing UFC 280 today. So I think it was not a footballing tackle. I mean, he's just dragging and then folding the body. Is like wrestling going on. It's a stupid penalty to concede. Stupid.
It's a passion type of movement lah, I guess. Passion lah. Okay, Brian Lee mentioned Lindelof is slower than a snail on crutches. I'm so worried for our defense now. But I know someone who is much, much, much slower, much, much slower.
Hey, but he's training
Betul tu.
hard, you know.
Kan?
Okay, Sunny mentioned what a goal by Casemiro. All right, Pija, Casemiro. Some of our panelists call him Casemiro. So do you think he deserves to get his name right this time around?
Yes, I think it's about time lah. Just pronounce his name lah. Casemiro. Remember that guy always missing tu? Macam Marshall. Casemiro is the name. So as of now, I like what he brings. I like his energy. I like his calmness. Especially the calmness. I boleh nampak masa yang ada a few moments dalam Chelsea game tadi yang dorang ada main this short passer between him and also Eriksen kan. Then suddenly dia boleh buat long ball to Anthony. I think that's one of the highlights which is bukanlah highlight, which is something yang memang currently that we are lacking last season. Yang last season punya lacking tu, we know now we have a proper CDM. Now the problem now we have lacking on the attacking side tu je.
Okay, Sufi mentioned against top 6 we got 10 over 15 if I'm not mistaken. Not bad actually for the first season under Eric Ten Hag. But then the thing is, sometimes stats aside and all these kind of records aside, right? When we watch the particular game, right? No matter, I know at the back of our mind we'll be thinking, oh, we need to give the manager time. We need to do this. We need to do that. But then when you watch the game, right? I think in a way I feel that in a way we are actually dominating in the first 35 minutes and whatnot, and then the outcome of it, we go back to our usual ways, especially I think when Varane actually went off just now, there was even a bigger drop, right, Doc?
Yeah, I agree. I think probably Chelsea sort of played in our hands at the beginning. They came out with a very defensive lineup. They played 5-3-2, and then they played two defensive midfielders, two defensive wing backs, and that allowed us to have a lot of possession. But I think the quality in the final third is still lacking, Dom. I mean, even you look at the chances they were created, the final ball is lacking, the final finish is lacking. So the final front three, I mean, look at our last few games. How many goals have we scored? We struggled against Omonia. We struggled against Newcastle. We struggled. Spurs was actually okay, right? Was the only game was actually okay. But even that, with the amount of chances we had, we only managed to score 2. Right?
We really need a clinical type of striker. Okay,
yeah, and I think the front three is not only the finisher. If you're having chances and not finishing is a different thing. Today, we didn't have really clear-cut chances when we had so much of domination of possession, right? So it's just a matter of not clicking in the final third.
I think the one yang Rashford punya tu boleh nampak one of the chances lah masa first.
Yeah, exactly.
I think even Anthony's one was a very clear-cut chance lah.
Yeah. That right-footed. One trip only.
Yeah, but that one on the right foot, right? He should have gone across the keeper, not to the near post. He should have gone across. So even if you miss hit, you got a better chance of scoring.
Adam mentioned this is what happened if we don't have a proper number 9 on the pitch. So right now, I think options, if we look at our options right now, right, who can actually play the number 9 role? In fact, actually, I think the subs that we did just now, right, we are using false nines, right, to actually try to actually chase, to get a goal and whatnot. Okay, Danny mentioned, even City don't dominate for 90 minutes. Problem with us, we can't use our dominating minutes to produce goals. Okay, so Syed, all right, so progression-wise, right, we can actually see the defense is, I think, pretty much solid. All right, so midfield and whatnot, yeah, I think we are almost getting there. So what do you think is the logical next step for Eric Ten Hag?
I think to just continue, I would not be very harsh on Eric Ten Hag, and I would not be harsh on our today's performance, because we were playing against the Chelsea side. I think after Graham Potter, they have been a very, very decent side. I don't think they have conceded in the last five games. Kepa has been outstanding. Their defense has been outstanding. They are a very disciplined team. They are very format, very drilled team. So I think credit to United to getting a point at Stamford Bridge. We should have won. We know stupid penalty, but I think we were not that bad. I know we are not, creating the clinical chances. We are not creating we are not shooting a lot compared to the Tottenham game. That's why the Chelsea game was already very hard for us. So I think we need to. We tried Sancho. Sancho is not good enough. I think Anthony, we know only one trick. I think he can come back and only shoot. We saw in the first half he missed the chance. Rashford, number 9, it's a failure. We already seen like he cannot play as a number 9. So I think we are only relying on Martial. We can only pray that Martial to come back or play. Or if Martial is not there, then okay. For example, in emergency cases, I would play Bruno Fernandes at number 9 because we don't have anything. Rather than playing Rashford on in the middle number 9, why not play Bruno? Bruno is not like you are playing as a striker. It's just like you have two strikers and just Bruno in the middle. So it's like a 2 and then Bruno in the middle between them. So I think that's how we can do. We have to keep Rashford and Anthony more narrow and play Bruno as a supporting V shape in the attack, because I mean Rashford number 9, it's completely failure so far.
Okay, Martin mentioned a new left winger and a ball carrying midfielder, aka Frankie De Jong. Frankie De Jong.
At the moment, we don't know what the situation with Ronaldo will be, right? But I think at the moment, with Martial injured, he's the only natural striker that you have, right? You probably, whether you want to start him, whether you want to keep him on the bench, and it's something that they need to sort out internally between ETH and him, okay? Yes, he's been punished for this game, for his walking, and again, I don't condone that, right? But yeah, they need to solve it, because until January, and if with Martial not fit, okay, he's not going to
But-
be any different. Whether you put Bruno, whether you put Rashford, we know is better from the left. Bruno is not going to be even worse putting him in the center forward, right? He's the only option you have at the moment, lah.
But Ronaldo only scored 2 goals in the last 12 games. How you are sure that Ronaldo will come back and score?
Yeah, exactly. But
Okay, regardless
what
of
other
his-
options do you have?
regardless
Syed,
what he
what
did-
other options
Guys,
do you have?
let's not make this
At the
into a
moment.
Ronaldo
Yeah,
kind of
it's
debate.
not a Ronaldo thing. I'm talking about what options you have up front.
Okay. Pijal, for you lah, since we don't have much how to say input from the live chat. Pijal, do you agree now Kuda tour still suitable to Eric Ten Hag's tactical?
You have seen 12 games kan, nampak dia main macam mana. So boleh nampaklah sesuai ke tak sesuai. You can see there's a difference with when Ronaldo's playing and when Ronaldo's not playing. We are much more fluidity in front of the goal. The crossing tu mungkin lah kita bukan ada one man show saja. There's gonna be a plenty of bodies in the box. Itu je lah, something different. Because Ronaldo main tak ada orang dalam box. Ronaldo tak main pun tak ada orang dalam box. So baik tak payah main.
But at least we can actually use his clinical, how to say, finishing and whatnot, right?
How
I mean,
no,
no
no.
doubt, no matter what, no
How to
matter
be
what.
clinical? Because you can see there's a plenty of times Ronaldo is out of position when we are on attacking mode. Tahu?
Okay, I don't want to drag this into a Ronaldo debate lah, but then I mean the chances that we have just now, right?
Yeah.
If you say it was Ronaldo, don't you think that? Or it was Martial, don't you think we would have actually finished it?
Ya betul lah kata. Tapi that is like what people gonna go what if like last game against Newcastle. Or if Ronaldo was there, if Ronaldo gets that Rashford chances, then he's gonna score. How sure are you that Ronaldo gonna score that Rashford goal? He might miss it.
Okay, you
Yeah.
see, right? Okay, this one I gotta somehow like defend lah. I'm defending a United player lah. All right, looking at how Rashford was actually playing the last 3-4 games and whatnot. I mean, the chances that he had against Omonia and whatnot, he could have scored like 5 goals or whatnot, right? That is actually a clear sign already that he don't have the clinical ability to actually finish goals and whatnot. Then in that case, right, why not? We have to do something. You know, if just say we repeat the same thing, that is insanity. You're going to get the same type of results. It's already, I think, Doc, you asked me earlier whether we are being harsh to Rashford and whatnot. He's given the time. He has the chances. The chances is clear cut there. He just doesn't have that composure or ability to actually finish it. So, in my opinion, in this case, right, regardless whether it's Ronaldo or whoever it is, if you have someone else who has the record, the experience to finish this type of goals, we should play him. Put the Ronaldo agenda aside. Like right now, we are like, it's survival mode, mate. In my humble opinion, we are in survival mode. We are so thin up front. Whatever it is, we are already seeing improvements, right? So the next logical steps is we got to see the goals coming in. Once we start banging in goals, then we can start talking about Ronaldo in, Ronaldo out, or whatever, when we have more players who can actually contribute. That's my take on that.
Yeah, I mean, at least until the January transfer window, we got know the options. You know the options. And for me, if I were in ETS situation, you need to sort out this issue first. You need to sort it out and talk to him and say, no, this is what we need from you. At least If you want to leave in January transfer window, we leave, no problem. But at least until then, let's try to work around this. And I'm sure Ronaldo is that kind of guy who is not going to simply not perform and things like that. And someone going to the World Cup, he'll also want to be in good form, right? So
But last time he refused to come out.
yeah, okay. Then we can go back to that
No,
again.
manager wants him to play. Manager wants him to play. I think he did opposite to what Kepa did. Kepa refused to come out, and then he also refused to come in.
No, you can't compare. That is a different thing, totally aside. Now, again, I ask you this question, okay? And this is why I feel there's something in the background. They want to slowly force him out because he tried to leave in the summer. Nobody want to buy him. Now they're trying to force him out.
There was
Maybe
no
by
buyer.
mutual
No, there was no.
termination. You
there
didn't
was
want to
no
bring
offer.
him in.
No,
You didn't want to.
no.
ETH said they want to bring him in for the City game because you respect him.
This
And then
talk,
you
right,
disrespect him by bringing him
this
for
talk,
1 minute.
the Gale versus side talk, right, was supposed to be in the previous episode that we did. Unfortunately,
But
Sai
my
came in
was not
late
good.
and he had lousy internet connection. That was the issue. That was the issue. Let's not dwell too much in this Ronaldo situation. All right, Said. My question, right, with Rafael Varane's injury, right, are you worried? Are you worried I know that you support France and whatnot. Do you think that he's going to miss the World Cup? And are you worried about our coming games? We are already building momentum. We have a solid foundation. But right now, it seems that we could be going back to square one.
I mean, to be honest, right now I'm not worried about France or I'm not worried about World Cup. I'm worried about more United at the moment. And I think the way he was going off, he was literally crying. And I mean, it's sad that a United defender who is in the form, who is a good partner of Martinez. It's not only individual Varane we are losing. We are losing a very decent partnership with Martinez, because with Lindelof is also a decent defender, but we already saw like Martinez and Varane, we are going to miss it if it is long. I really hope and pray it's not that much, like a very big issue or very long injury. Maybe one game he should be come back. We really need him back. But I mean, Lindelof is still better than Maguire. We can play Lindelof, or maybe we can also try Van Bissaka, because Van Bissaka is also coming back on the pitch. So why not we play him as a centre back with Delort, because Delort is also playing as a inverted back. Shaw is playing on the flag, but Delort is more like inside and going forward. So I think Delort and Van Bissaka can play on the right side together. But Varane injury is like a huge loss. He has been a very good defender for us, and especially not individual, as a partner, the partnership will be broken with Martinez.
Yep.
I think players normally know the moment they get injured, they already know. And
Yeah.
judging from his reaction,
critical.
right, he's not going to come back in a game or two.
Yeah.
He's already
He was
in his
crying.
mind, he already knows he's going to miss the World Cup. Is that bad? So I don't think he's going to be back in the next few games. So they need to look at what's next for the partnership. I think Lindelof will still be the obvious choice, right? Yeah, that would be the obvious choice. Hopefully Maguire doesn't come back anytime soon.
Pastor Fred, okay. Pijal, when you saw Fred warming up in the sidelines, right? So which version of Fred do you think would have turned up today?
The usual one.
Not the non-Brazilian, non-Brazilian.
Bukan the non-Brazilian, the usual one. The Fred that we paid 50 million. Frustrating lah. No, I'm not frustrating for Fred lah. I'm frustrating that Sancho Erik Ten Hag keluarkan Sancho and bring on Fred. Dan dia letak Bruno dekat that area. Dah lah Sancho slow. Letak Bruno pula yang memang slow. So apa function dia buat that tactical change? I don't understand that angle in terms of
Dia masuk crosses mah. He was putting in crosses into the box.
nak bagi kat siapa?
Putting in crosses into the box.
Nak bagi kat siapa?
I think he was overconfident.
Yeah, maybe. but then if you want to put in the crosses, please ensure that there's going to be someone inside the box. But then cross tak ada orang dalam box. It's like a waste of time. So tu yang bila I tengok, I don't blame Fred lah for I not like really 100% blaming him, but I think it's just a misstep in terms of transferring, do all this substitution lah, Fred with Sancho and put Don Bruno over there, tu je lah.
Now I asked the panel back a question lah. Do you think ETH missed the trick? Once Potter made his changes, do you think ETH didn't respond in any way, and we were just going on with the same thing that we were doing all the while?
I think it's because he doesn't have the personnel to actually do something about the situation lah.
I think
wait, one moment. Erik Ten Hag brought in Fred because we needed more intensity. Eriksen was a bit slow and lost today. Yep.
Correct.
Seems
Yeah.
like he wasn't really his usual self.
Yalah, betul lah.
Again, the thing about our players right now, right? Okay, Doc, if like we were to say that consistency is one of our issues, right? Which, I mean, of all our first 11, which player would you consider a consistent player apart from the goalkeeper? Because I know you're going to say David De Gea.
I think if you ask me at the moment, probably yeah, of course, De Gea at the moment still consistent. I think the defense, Varane and Martinez have been decently consistent in the last 5-6 games already. Dalo, I will give him one thing lah. He's improved definitely, right? He's improved definitely going again. I still think he doesn't do so as much going forward, but defensively is very much better. I think the defense is kind of set. Casemiro in the last few games has played well, but apart from that, I think none. The front three, nobody is performing consistently. None. Even our first 11 today, even our first 11 the last game, up front, we are still lacking consistent performance now.
Okay, Danny mentioned, why do y'all think Eric Ten Hag, with a reputation of playing youths, is not doing it here? Said, I know you have something about, favoritism towards youth, promoting the youth and whatnot, right? So what's your take on this?
Yeah, I think it's surprising for me as well, because I would love to see Pelistri or Garnacho starting, especially maybe not today. I think today Chelsea away is a very tricky game, but maybe at home against maybe like Southampton, Newcastle, or maybe like Brighton, we should see more youth from ETH, and I think I would expect him to play more. And so far, I mean, this part of ETH, I'm quite disappointed, because when you don't have strikers, when you don't have senior players who are fit, then I think this is the time to play the youth, and this is the United way. We always rely on youth. We always, give them the breakthrough, give them the career. So I think that's the critics I would give to ETH, that he should play more youth. But I think, talking about the striker, I think we have Sancho, we have Rashford, we have Anthony, Garnacho, Pelistri. They are all same. They are also wingers. They are not number 9. Number 9, we only have Martial and Ronaldo. So we don't have any youth number 9 who is come and like ready to play. So Garnacho, Pelistri, I think he should play at least maybe some home games.
Adam Cook comment, I'm going to save it for later, all right?
I saw this one.
Another one person that I missed out. I think in recent games he has been upping his game, I think Luke Shaw, right? Pijal, what's your take on Luke Shaw's performance?
As usual lah, bila Luke Shaw, when there's a competition and there's a new competition, then suddenly dia ni. Tapi then have to give credit to him lah. He's much more confidence, and for the last 2-3 seasons, his partner always Maguire, and so now he has someone that very confidence, even though shorter than Maguire. He's very confident, comfortable with the ball, comfortable to pass the ball forward instead of bila kalau dulu bila Maguire dapat bola, dia akan expect bola akan sampai kat dia. Now he has to be ready whether the bola akan sampai kat dia atau bola akan sampai ke midfield.
Don't believe so. He haven't get his contract yet, right? So maybe this is a dangerous kind of thing. Should hold on for a bit his contract. Jangan bagi contract dulu.
I think it's still Shaw is better than Malaysia. I mean, overall his game, I think Shaw is better than Malaysia.
True.
But both are not up to par if you ask me overall. But I think another key thing that I would like to mention here is Martinez. Martinez passing up from the back. And this is where the midfield and final third, right, don't take advantage of some of the balls that he actually passes through they cuts through their midfield. Right? And then our front three is not using that, not utilizing those passes well, and losing it,
Okay, guys, I think we do a quick round robin now before we wrap this up, right? Man of the match. Let's start with Doc first. Before that, sorry, Doc, this time around, Casemiro man of the match. If David De Gea saved the penalty, sure, David De Gea. For me, it's simple only. As long as there's a clean sheet, automatically David De Gea. All right, man of the match, Doc.
Yeah, I think I'd agree that Casemiro was still man of the match. I thought in midfield he was dominant in the first half. Although second half he faded a little bit, but and to come back with that goal right at the end, I don't think he trusted McTominay with the header. He took it on, looping header, I think superb. So man of the match, Casemiro for me.
Right?
I think I would agree. It should be Casemiro. Throughout his game, I think not only the goal, but also like winning the balls, tackling, winning aerial duels, winning headers, winning the ground duels, doing the tackles. And I think before the game, I had the gut feeling like today, I think Martinez or Casemiro is going to score. So I'm so happy like his debut goal for United, and we can all see the celebration it really means to him. So I think really good performance and man of the match, Casemiro.
The celebration, though, I got one comment about it. I mean, yeah, you guys equalize and whatnot, but quickly, man, we can actually chase and maybe we can actually get another goal and whatnot. But they spend too much time celebrating for me. Okay, Ijal, man of the match.
This one, I letak dalam kita punya ni. Man United apps.
Fuh, showing off
tengok
lah your
macam-
what 20 points is it?
Ui. Alamak, dia dah hang. For that brief moment, I thought that was Ronaldo because they look quite alike. Casemiro slightly more chubby, but then they look quite alike. Okay, last comment before we wrap this up. Shaw is like a jealous girlfriend when the boyfriend flirting, Baru want to up the performance. Okay, myself, I'm going to give it to Luke Shaw lah, because everybody is like Casemiro, because I'm quite actually impressed by Luke Shaw's performance lah. Right, but anyway, thank you guys. It's 3:15 a.m. right now. Thanks for joining us for this live show. All right, like usual, please like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Good night.